cool. This is gonna curdle me guts, give me a hangover and make me myself.
This news alert brought to you by Australia's only 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. Mitsubishi 1010. You can count on it.
Good evening. A man a week out of jail has been charged after an elderly woman was repeatedly stabbed in South Geelong. The Reserve Bank Governor isn't ruling out further rate rises as millions of Australians grapple with the impact of this week's hike. The heartbroken mother of a young woman killed by her jealous boyfriend has yelled at him in court. And Neil Danaher has inspired the demons ahead of Monday's big freeze at the G. Showers easing and a top of 17 degrees tomorrow.
Because they count on you, count on it. Australia's only 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. Mitsubishi 1010. You can count on it.
Hello everyone, welcome to Footy Classified. What a big week it's been in football, and let's meet our panel tonight. Matthew Lloyd, Damien Barrett, Jimmy Bartell. Boys, great to have you here. Been a lot going on in football the last couple of weeks, so we want to get into the intro coming up. And first of all, Damien Barrett, the biggest story, of course, has been Alistair Clarkson. Where is Clarko, not physically at the moment, but as far as his comeback to football?
Yeah, well, the fact that Melbourne Footy Club itself doesn't have an oversight on when that return date is probably all we need to know at this point in time. And it's no longer as simple as it just being a moment where Alistair Clarkson says to the club, I'm right to return. It's now going to be an all-of-club decision about when that is. We know he's missed the 3 matches already. They've got a game this weekend against GWS, followed by Western Bulldogs, then the bye. It's not going to be before that period, so you stretch that out to the 6-week period then, and then it becomes how?
Has it made it a bit easier for the club, the fact that they're playing well? They're not winning, but they're playing really exciting, good football. You know that you've got Brett Ratton there who's doing a fantastic job. The pressure's gone off the club, and Clarko can now just get himself right.
Yeah. Could very easily won 2 of the 3 games Brett Ratton's been in charge. Sydney, Swans and Essendon on the weekend just gone, and we're good against Collingwood in between that. Yeah. Ultimately though, and the club is adamant about this, that Brett Ratton, while being his own man, is still operating under the Alistair Clarkson blueprint. So that's all still in play. And the communication between North and Clarkson is effectively non-existent, but only because that was the plan. For Alistair to go away, Jim, to get himself right mentally, and if there is communication between people at the club and Alistair, they are not communicating it amongst themselves at the club either. So it's been a complete break.
Just asking something similar to what you're highlighting there, Danimm. You said it's the whole entire club approach. Is there something North Melbourne needs or Alistair Clarkson needs before he considers coming back?
Yeah, just to be fully recovered mentally, health-wise, which is the reason he stood down himself 3 weeks ago. So, yeah, it will be a senior management, I'd imagine, would even go to the board, that moment that they decide this. And as I said, the timeline, the way I read it tonight, based upon North Melbourne's lack of communication by way of their plan, and Alistair's as well, that it won't be before the bye, which is still 3 weeks away.
And there's still a fair way to go with Alistair Clarkson and this whole issue as well. He's considering his legal position and whether or not defamation cases. So it's not just because the AFL have flipped the switch that Alistair Clarkson's pressure has dissipated, if anything at all.
And that's your point there, and he has to come back in the right headspace himself, because I think as players you can see right through what a coach is thinking. And I think the tension and the way they played in the first 10 weeks, I got no doubt they would have felt the tension that he was feeling and the pressure that he was feeling with what was going on off field. It's amazing how much better they played the last 3 weeks with probably that circuit breaker of Alistair not being there. So I sort of asked myself, is there any point putting him back into the frying pan of AFL coaching? And they've lost 10 in a row already.
The rest of the year off.
Yeah, they lose another 5 and they've lost 15.
The rest of the year.
What would they lose out of it?
A few months.
Where he can start afresh in the pre-season and start from scratch rather than coming in off the side who's lost 15.
One word answer, guys. Should North Melbourne get dispensation on the soft cap on this?
Yes.
I'll say no.
Yeah, I say no to that. I think each club enters a year with that requirement, and whatever happens has to be worked around.
I normally agree with that, Damo, but I think this is such a unique circumstance. Brett Ratton comes in. You've got to actually backfill Brett Ratton's role as well. I think most clubs would be pretty okay with this one.
Okay, Damo, let's stick with you for a moment.